Good morning, happy Saturday, and happy New Year. So this is my first YouTube, not that I've done a many, of 2025. And so I've just started filming in the car because I've just done a leg session. I got to the gym for about 6:30. So I've just done a leg session, and in today's YouTube, I'm just going to film a day of my training and my meals as well. So I didn't start the morning filming before my leg session, basically because I was so groggy. I felt really tired this morning. I really had to force myself to get out of bed. I don't know if it's this cold weather and having the heating on, and it just makes you feel, to me, it's not the darkness. Maybe it is, like, I can't really, when it just, it's not something that you think about, it just has that impact on your body. But I've always managed to sort of get up when it is dark, but I just feel so groggy, feel so tired. I mean, sleep hasn't been the best this week. In fact, it's been awful. So maybe it's kicking in, but I did get 7 hours last night. But yeah, I just felt rubbish getting up this morning, so there was no way I was going to be talking to the camera and being this talkative. So I got to the gym, did a lower body session, I filmed all of it, and so I will show you some clips of it as well. And before I went to the gym, I had some electrolytes because I was feeling so groggy. I felt a bit shaky as well. It was a bit weird. So maybe I just wasn't that hydrated. But yeah, I had electrolytes. I always start the day with hydrating my body. So whether it's electrolytes or just getting some water down me. And I also have a coffee as well. And I had a banana too. And leg session, it went okay. I didn't feel that energized. And I knew I wasn't. I was just sort of going to get a feel of it. And when I feel like that, I just go through the motions of the exercises and increase load where I can. I know what weights I was lifting the week before, so my aim is to just lift those weights and not actually aim for any PBs. So that is what I did. In fact, I did go a little bit heavier on the Smith machine sumo deadlifts, which was good. And everything else was, pretty smooth. Finished on the assault bike, and which was a killer. And now I'm going to go and get some steps outside. I like to walk outside. I've got a bit of a headache as well. Oh my gosh, all these problems. So I don't normally feel like this. I just think it's just been one of those weeks. And hopefully, what I'll do tonight is I'll definitely plan to have a lot more sleep because it's a Saturday night and I can relax a little bit. So yeah, the plan's to go outside. I've got a bit of a headache, so I didn't want to go and walk on the treadmill. It's also pretty busy in the gym. But it's very foggy outside. It suddenly just got super foggy. But it looks pretty nice, and obviously it's super cold, but I'm just going to make it a quick 30-40 minute loop. Then make it back home, and I'll show you my first meal of the day and what I'll be doing for the rest of the day. So yeah. Okay, plan has changed. I'm not going for a walk. I've decided I need some food. I'm just feeling really tired, and I just think it's down to my sleep this week, and it's just kicking me in the ass today. And just going to train when you haven't recovered properly just sucks. It feels horrible. So instead of actually dragging myself around this loop to get my steps in, I'd rather break my day up. Makes sense, right? And I don't have anything on today apart from basically client plans and work. My weekends are quiet. I think most people weekends are quiet in Jan, and normally I do put in some work at the weekend because that's important to me. That's what I need to be doing. So yeah, that's the plan. Calories at the weekend tend to be a little bit higher compared to my calories in the week, mainly because I have a bit more time to actually eat food in the week. I find, and also I get this same with clients, that when work is really busy, it can be hard to fit in more food, but that's where we just try and bump up the amount of calories that are actually made in the meals that we're eating. So if you have 3 meals a day, it's just trying to put in some more food to actually try and bump up those calories a bit more, which I do try and prioritize. But a lot of people do tend to like slightly higher calories the weekend, and I enjoy that as well. So after Christmas, it was just sort of getting back into routine with food. But in between Christmas and New Year, I stuck to some sort of routine with the foods that would make me feel good outside of those social events that I had, because I know I ate a lot. We all ate a lot over Christmas and New Year. So I just tend to try and stick to some sort of routine in terms of just making sure I'm eating enough protein in between those days, mainly because it's routine and it makes me feel good. But otherwise, I definitely enjoyed a huge amount of mince pies, cheese, and all the good stuff. So yeah, it's back to routine now, and I am tracking every single day now, and I have a routine with my calories, and I am in between 1800 to 2100 calories at the moment. That is just working for me, and it helps me with my energy levels. I do monitor it. I don't want to gain any more weight, and I know I've definitely put on a kilo or so over Christmas, and that will come off quite quickly. In fact, it has pretty much dropped off. But the aim now is just to maintain my body weight and sticking to the same calories every single week up until the end of January. And then I'm going to review things where I'm at and perhaps drop them very slightly just to reduce a bit of body fat, not too crazy with the calories or in that crazy calorie deficit. I don't want that. And nor is that going to be really realistic, because that will probably really kick me in the ass. But then I'm going to reduce my calories very, very slightly, and just to reduce a bit of body fat, and then see where I'm at, perhaps maintain for a bit longer. But I want to build more muscle, and I want to look leaner. But I'll talk a little bit more about my calories in a second. I'm just going to make my breakfast because I'm so hungry. But I'm going to make some oats, and in my oats I put egg whites just to help bump up the protein, because I don't like protein shakes. I just don't like them. I've probably said that before. it's the whey protein. It just doesn't sit well with me. I've tried vegan shakes as well. It just hasn't sat well with me either. I get really bad acid reflux anyway from a lot of foods trigger that. So, and I find that whey was doing that, and protein shakes in general were doing that. Even protein bars. There are certain ones that I can just about be okay with, but it might be the fact that I am on lansoprazole that sort of helps settle that. But anyway, so egg whites, and then I'm gonna have put some raspberries on top, yogurt, and some peanut butter. I'm going to check what I've put in and tracked. I don't think I've actually tracked my day, so I'm going to track my day, look into that, and then go through it with you. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, I'm going to make it. Okay, so I've made my breakfast, and I wonder if I could show you that. There we go. So breakfast is oats, egg whites, Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and raspberries. I heated the raspberries up, hence why it looks drowned in raspberry juice. And then I made another cappuccino, so I had one this morning. So my breakfast altogether is 456 calories, and protein is 45 grams of protein. And this morning I had a banana and a cappuccino, so I always track, it's roughly around 100 mils of milk that I have with my cappuccino. And so this morning's about 155 calories. My aim today is gonna be 2,100 calories. So I haven't actually tracked the rest of the day, so I'm just gonna put in the rest of the day whilst I eat my breakfast. And what I like to do on a Saturday is create a different meal that I haven't had for either a long time or I haven't tried, because I have a bit more time to cook. And so I like to do that, and then I put the recipe in for my one-to-one clients so they can see that and they can give it a go themselves as well. My plan tonight is to do a tagliatelle dish. I did one early on in the week, which I was super proud of, which was, it had salmon, prawns, tagliatelle, a creamy sauce, and cheese. It was really good. So my plan is I'm going to plan that out. I actually want to do maybe like a sausage tagliatelle, and then I'll nip to the shops later on and get all the ingredients. And yeah, and roughly track, if I don't have the ingredients in, I'll roughly track it and put it in so I have an idea of calories. I'm also probably going to fit in a nap today, I think, because see how I feel later. I don't really like missing out on the day, but sometimes you just need that power nap, don't you? Good afternoon. I've just finished my client plans, and I say afternoon because it is now coming up to 1 o'clock, and I'm just about to have my lunch, and then I'm gonna go for a walk after. It's turned out to look, it looks amazing outside. It looks so nice. The fog has lifted, and I'm gonna go, yeah, get a nice walk in, and then I'm gonna come back and then finish off with some work. But I wanted to fit in actually going through my program so I can talk to you a little bit about what I'm focusing on, but I might actually do that in a separate video. Yeah, but in terms of my goals and what I want to be working on this year is just continue building a leaner body, and I want to show you that journey of how you can continue to keep progressing with building muscle, shaping your body, and just bringing out the definition that I want to see on my body. Yeah, just taking you along with me and showing that you can also achieve that without having to focus so much on what the scales say and trying to focus on losing weight all the time, because a lot of women do focus on that, and a lot of people who come to work with me always want to focus on reducing body fat, and of course we all want to do that. That's what helps build our body confidence and just confidence in general. There are so many ways of being able to do that. The most important thing is just getting your nutrition right and feeling confident that knowing that lifting weights, strength training is going to support your goals of reducing body fat and building more muscle to develop more shape to your body. It's not always just being in that calorie deficit. And hopefully you've seen through, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been able to show how you can be in a calorie deficit and drop body fat and also see the scales drop. I lost 8 kilos around, last year. I started this time last year. Now that's not my goal really, to drop 8 kilos. I have sort of crept back up closer to where I was almost this time last year. But I've been able to build a different physique from lifting weights and monitoring the foods that I'm eating. So nutrition plays a huge part in helping you focus on not adding too much body weight on when you are trying to build muscle. So if you are in your focusing on maintaining your calories and you are lifting weights, you are going to see your body shape change over time. But I know, and also working with clients, that we like to see body fat go first to feel better about ourselves, and then it might be a phase of getting into maintenance calories and then lifting weights. So everyone's different, and I know based on what the client's goals are when they come to me, I have an idea of what the best place is to start that's going to help them feel comfortable. Now, yeah, I'm sort of switching in between my goals and clients' goals, but yeah, leaner physique, but I am going to be focusing on reducing body fat very, very, very gradually leading up until summer, and I'm going to show you my journey with that. But in terms of muscle groups I want to progress with, I want to build more glutes, build more hamstrings, just build more shape to my legs. I have long legs. I am quite tall, about 172 centimeters. So building muscle when you're taller is actually harder because you've got a lot more space to try and fill. So I have been, over the last 4 months, really going for it with my lower body, very, very gradually, from coming back from an injury and also being in a calorie deficit. I've just gradually built back up into it. So I don't want to go into a calorie deficit right now based on the fact that I have worked so hard over the last 4 months to be able to get into a really good place with my strength training for my lower body. But a very slight calorie deficit will come in place, perhaps maybe February time, but nothing too crazy. And then yeah, I want to develop my shoulders, and I don't want to develop any more really on my chest. I do enjoy bench press, so I've got some strength exercises in that keep me motivated, keep me working on something when I go into the gym, instead of just focusing on exercises that are going to shape the areas I want to improve on. Abs as well. I've got a couple ab exercises, nothing too crazy. I have built up a lot of abs over years of training them, so it's not my main priority, and I know that they will start to come through a bit more as I reduce my body fat. Just get stronger with my pull-ups, develop my back. I'm very happy with my back, but I feel like there could be a few more areas in terms of just making myself a little bit wider here, and not too wide, but just to help create a slightly smaller waist look, with some abs, some perkier glutes, hamstrings and shoulders. That is the goal, but just to continue looking leaner, because I like that look, but I also like to look quite athletic. I think it's just probably from my background of being quite sporty. I do like that look, but I just want to show you how you can change your physique in the way that you would like to. And it does take time, but I think if you always think about how much time there is in our life and just making the most of what you have and taking it every single week, one step at a time, you have so much time to work on yourself and your goals. There's no rush. That's my mindset with it, because I feel like life is a rush anyway. I feel like everything goes so fast, but we do have so much time to be able to work on ourselves. And I'm always looking ahead at, 6 months time, and then another 6 months time, and then where I want to be in a year's time. I'm always focusing on that. And it took me a while to think like that. And I still think short term with a lot of things when they actually need to be long term. But yeah, it's a long process, but you've got to enjoy it. And when you start to see results and you start to be consistent with it, it's honestly just a great feeling. So that's where I'm at the moment. Yeah, now I'm gonna go make some lunch. That's also why I came on. I'm gonna make some scrambled egg, avocado on toast with some Philadelphia and tomato on the side. I think that's all I've got tracked. So I'm gonna make that, and then I'll show you it and just tell you about the calories and the protein in it as well. Okay, so I've done my lunch, and it is toast, eggs, tomato and avocado, and calorie wise, 460 calories. Is that everything? Yeah, 460 calories in that. My meals tend to be pretty similar in terms of calories, and I just like to spread my calories evenly throughout the day. That's just a habit I've done over time. And any extra that I have, I just put towards snacks, because I am a snacker. I mean, I used to be a real like snacker, but since introducing more foods into my diet that I'll benefit from and just filling up on those and prioritizing those first, I don't feel like I really tend to want to snack that much. Although I did have a cup of tea. Did I say that? I did have a cup of tea and some biscuits, which I have tracked, but they were for this evening. But I tracked 2 of them. They're like Oreos, but from Lidl. So I've tracked 2 of those. I've got 1 more tonight. Going back to lunch, just under 40 grams of protein in that, and I use 150 grams of, I must be super tired today, 150 grams of egg whites, 1 egg. I just whip that up in the pan. That would be mostly the protein in that meal. So I'm gonna have this and then I'm gonna go for a walk, and I've tracked my dinner and I'm super excited to make this. Whether it will taste good, I don't know. But this is it's actually come to around 450 calories for dinner, and I've got the tagliatelle tracked, I've got the chicken sausages, I've got the mushrooms tracked, which are obviously nothing, and I'm creating the sauce with light Philadelphia. But the recipe I found comes with, or is made with sour cream. So I have changed that, and I'm going to use cream cheese instead, light cream cheese with some beef stock, and it says some mustard and paprika as well. So I think it's like a creamy sauce of some type. I haven't tried this before, but calories look good, so I'm not too sure. I've left a few more calories just in case I need some, and yeah. So I'm excited for dinner, so I'll go and get the food later on. I'm going to enjoy this, I'm going to go on my walk, and then I'll come back and I've got a few more bits that I want to do in terms of work. Then I'll go out to the shops, get my food, come back. I've also got a yogurt bowl tracked, which I'll probably have after my walk as well. And that's my day at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to eat this and I will catch you later. Good evening, guys. I have just got back from the shops, and just to pick up the bits that I needed for dinner tonight. So I'm using Heck chicken sausage. I'm gonna have 5 of those. I've got light Philadelphia to go with, that's with the sauce, and the beef stock goes in it as well, the paprika and the mustard. I think those are that's all for the sauce. Got mushrooms as the veg, and then tagliatelle pasta. It's probably my favourite pasta. So that is tonight's dinner. And so, yeah, it's come to about 450 calories. And I'm just going to look at the protein. Again, it's about 36. So, yeah, 36 protein. So most of my meals today have been roughly 35 to 40 grams of protein, which is good for me. Tonight for my snack, like I said earlier, I'm having some Oreos later on. And I had a pack earlier. So I'm going to have that tonight, and I know I have a few extra calories left over, so I got some popcorn. So I'll weigh and measure out some popcorn, and I'll snack on that later whilst watching a movie. It's coming up to 6:30, so I'm going to have a shower, then I'm going to cook my meal. I'll video it, and so I can show a picture or video on top of this whilst I'm talking of what the meal ended up looking like. So yeah, that's it. So that is what a day looks like with me. Those are the meals I eat, and pretty much it's pretty much the same routine or the same foods I use throughout the week, but I tend to just mix up at the weekend because it's just nice to have something slightly different. Yeah, that is it for me. I hope that was all okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Pop me a message below, and I will be back for more to keep you up to date with my journey, and also just give you some tips on helping you with your journey as well. But yeah, press the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.